Hi, hello. We wanted to kick off March. I am going to start bringing our trainings back bi-weekly in the beginning, and then we will see how it goes. And as our team grows, then we can obviously go into doing them weekly. But um, there are only 2 months left of these bonuses. So you have to decide right now if you are going to go in all in and actually do the work and stop making excuses and put your head down, or you can just continue to stay where you are. You cannot wake up April 1st and be like, oh my God, there's only one more month left. I'm going to start working now. You have to put in the work now to plant the seeds to get to where you want to go, and to try to achieve the bonuses by what, April 31st, April 30th. So I don't know how many days are in April, but so you have to decide right now. Oh, there's 30. What you're going to do. And when, like, it's up to you to start. So whenever you make the decision, there's always, like we always say, there's two times you say yes to this business. The first yes is whenever you say yes to joining, and then the second yes is whenever you say yes to going all in and focusing, putting your head down, and actually doing the behind the scenes work, the IPAs, and what every leader is pouring into you to do. Like, these bonuses they're not just here. They're only here. It's been 2 years since they brought them out. So if you're claiming one, claim it tonight and put your head down and work. The reason why I wanted to have Mikayla start us off with our first training, coming back to this, is because she texted me February. Mikayla was the worst. She would tell me all the excuses. She'd be like, okay, I'm in it. I'm going to do it. And then she would do it for a day. And then she'd be like, oh, well, And I'm like, no, you got to decide. Either you're going to do it or you're not going to do it. Like, there was times I texted her, I'm like, so are you going to do it or what's up? And she texted me February 1st and she's like, I'm in. I'm going all in. I'm earning a $4,000 bonus this month. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. And in the beginning, I was like, okay. And then halfway through February, she literally had, I think, like her 10th new customer. And I was like, what the heck are you doing? Like, she did a 100% switch from where she was to where she is now. And all she did was decide. And she stopped letting all the excuses and whatever get into her head. And she's like, it's mine. Like, let's go. And I want her to just kind of share where her mindset was, where it is now, and just what exactly she did to get there. Because if she can do it in 1 month time, so can you guys. So you could earn a $12,000 bonus by the end of April if you decide tonight that you are going to start showing up and doing the work. So, Mikayla, take it away, girlfriend.
All righty. Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to start by saying like what I kind of want you all to take away from this. I can just say that how Cassie said, like, you start with you. It starts with yourself. You can either, show up today or not show up today. Like, it's completely up to you. It's not up to anybody else. It's not up to the girl that's liking your photo or the girl that's not liking your photo. So that's kind of just what I want you guys to take away from this. But I'm going to go into the excuses like Cassie was saying, because that was like my middle name was excuses. I was working a job where I worked like literally 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I hated it. That was one of my biggest reasons of why I even joined in the first place, was because I wanted to get away from that job, or at least go part-time to not work there as often. And so at first I was using that as my excuse, that I was working too much or too often, even though that was my why. Like, does that even make any sense? That was why I wanted to do it, and then that's why I wasn't doing it. Like, it just literally doesn't make any sense at all. So I then got a new job, which was going to be a 9 to 5. And then I was like so excited. I'm like, Cassie, this is it. This is in October. I got this job. I'm like, this is it. I'm going to have a 9 to 5. I'm going to be able to do all the things like I said I was going to be able to do, because I'm not going to have to work full time anymore, or not full time, but 10-2 or doubles. We used to call them doubles. I got this job, and then now this job was my new excuse. I would tell her like, oh, I'm getting used to it. Like, oh, what else did I used to say? Like,
With
I stare at the
text
computer screen all day.
Yeah. And well, wait, and then she would text me and say, I can't be on my phone like while I'm sitting here. Like, I don't, and I was like, but you're texting me back. Like you could go on IG real quick and put up a post or something. And she's like, well, I just like don't really want to be on my phone. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, so I was saying that like I didn't want my new boss to see me on my phone, because I didn't want her to like think I wasn't working or whatever, this, that, or the other. And then the 9 to 5 was my new excuse. And then I just didn't have the time because I had to wake up earlier. And then when I left work, I was tired, even though I was taking my Thrive. I really wasn't tired, but I was honestly just making excuses. That was all I did. So even when January hit, they dropped the bonuses in the beginning of January. And Cassie's like, are you running? Like, let's go. Like $4,000, let's get it. And I'm like, yes, I'm in, I'm doing it. I think I posted like 3 times in January, maybe a couple more, but it was literally like 3 times. Like that is not showing up. So my boyfriend and I are trying to buy a land in Jamaica. That's like kind of what our investment wants to be. We want it to kind of be like a real estate kind of thing. So that's what we've been struggling with. We've told this guy that we were going to buy this land in October of last year. And every time he calls us, he's holding it. There's people that want to buy it, and he's nice enough to hold it for us. And every single time he calls, we say it's because of Corona, because technically it would really be a hard time to get into Jamaica and then get back into the USA, which is true. But if we had the money, we would be there tomorrow. But we don't have the money. That's the problem. So now, this being my new why, I mean, I just had to look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, my 9 to 5, I have a capped income. I make this much every 2 weeks. I work 80 hours a week. That can be, 40 hours a week. That can be 80 hours every 2 weeks, but that's all I can make. They don't let me get overtime at this job. But with Lavelle, with this company, it is uncapped. And then there's a $4,000, $12,000, $40,000 bonus on the line. That would buy the land. So like, I really just, towards the end of January, Cassie was like, all right, look, this is the last time I'm asking you. She literally texted me and said, this is the last time I'm asking you, are you in or are you out? Because if you're not in, I'm kicking you out of the group. And I was like, no, like, I don't want to be, not to say that when you need a break and you take a break, there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't want to be the person that was leaving the group. Like I didn't want people to say I gave up. I'm not, I could say I took a break. I could say I wasn't showing up, but I'm not going to completely give up. So I really just started to watch the trainings towards the end of January, started to plug in, started to get the motivation. And then I started to literally just show up. Like I had a mindset shift. I had the hard conversations, which is probably one of the hardest parts of really going all in. I sat my boyfriend down and I said, look, do you want this land or not? Like, do you want it? Like, I'm going to go and get it. Like, I promise you, I'll go and get it if you support me. And if you let me plug into trainings, and if you let me wake up, or not let me, but he just would bother me. He just would be in my ear, like, come on, I want to do this, I want to do that. And then I'd be like, okay. And that was another reason, one of my excuses as to I wanted to spend time with him. But we live together and we're all together like all the time. So he can give me my couple hours of peace. But I started to wake up at like 6 or 7 o'clock every morning when I had to be at work at either 9 or 10 in the morning. And I just started to literally do the IPAs full through, every single one, to the best of my ability. I didn't skip. I didn't make excuses. I didn't say I did it and lied to myself, because that was another thing that I used to do. I used to like say, oh yeah, I did follow, I did interactions. That's my least favorite IPA. I will be completely honest. I just don't like to go through and try to find people to follow and then interact with them and then try to make a connection. It's just not something that comes easy to me like it does other people. So I would always say like, okay, I followed one person and I liked one of her pictures. Like, okay, I did my follow, I did my interactions, I did my 3-2-1s. Like I was literally lying to myself. I was telling myself that I was doing the IPAs and I never was. But this time around, literally February 1st, I woke up and I said, this is it. Like, let's get going. I had a vision, and the vision was the bonus. The vision was making a team where not only I can celebrate my successes, but celebrate theirs as well, because it's literally the best feeling whenever somebody else, you're helping somebody else get a goal and then they get it. Like it's the best feeling probably ever to be that like root on for that person. It's not even as like me, I don't even think it's real that I hit 4K yet. Like I literally did the least amount of hard things. It's like people say, I was watching a training Lindsay did, like the job, it's not hard. This whole entire job is not hard. The hardest part is the dedication. The hardest part is the consistency. It's not hard. The work isn't hard, but it's hard because you're not forced to show up. You're not forced to go in as like a 9 to 5 and your boss is not watching you. Your boss is not checking up on you, making sure like, yeah, I'm here to ask you how you're doing, or Cassie's here to ask me, hey, how are you doing? And of course, if I have any questions, she's going to ask, she's going to help me, but she's not going to, live in my house next to me and say, all right, get up, IPA time. Like, all right, let's follow, let's post. Like, she's not my babysitter. She's not my boss. I'm my own boss. You are your own boss. Like you can do this now. If you want to do this now, you just have to show up and work like it's a 9 to 5. Don't make the excuses. If you treat it like a 9 to 5 and like, let's say your boss gave you 8 things to do every day, that's your IPAs. That's your 8 things to do every single day. You show up, you get them done to the best of your ability, because if you don't, guess what? You're going to get fired and you're not going to have a job. Like that's just how I started to think of it. I'm thinking it as like, if I show up and I do all the things, it has to happen. And like that's literally what happened. Like self-development was the biggest number one thing. It was the first thing on my list. I didn't touch my phone when I woke up. I went straight to the Bible and I went straight to my self-development book, and I took 30 minutes every morning to do just that. And it was either, I didn't always read, because if you don't like books, you could listen to podcasts, you can even like there's everything that you can do. My I am affirmations, I did them every single morning, and then I did my gratitude. Like there's 4 things: my Bible, and I literally just sit there and I just worship myself first, because the business is only you. Like people join people. That's another thing that they say a lot. You have to love yourself. You have to pour into your own cup, and then you go and you serve other people, and you pouring into other people will just only pour into yourself. It's like a cycle. So that's really the biggest IPA that I started to do, and my mindset just started to shift. And I started to literally plug into every Zoom. Christina Tammy Zoom changed my life. She does one every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. It plans out your whole week from Monday to that Sunday. I started to write down intentionally what I was going to do every single day, along with my IPAs, like what I was going to post, as of like what theme, what I was going to talk about. I wanted to try to get face to face with my story every day. So I planned, okay, well, this day I work late, so I'm probably going to go to the gym in the morning. So that morning, I'm going to talk face to face on my story about working out, or how good the products make me feel, or how it got me out of bed that morning. Like I just try, it's not every day that I do that exact same thing, but at least I'm being intentional with what I'm going to do. So there's no excuse as to why I didn't do it. Like it's just something that it comes within yourself, but I promise you, once you show up and you do all the things, it will just come. It's so weird how it happens, but I think like halfway through February, I wasn't even nowhere near on track 4K, nowhere near. And I could have given up. I could have given up. I could have said like, Cassie, that's it. Like, I'm sorry, I tried, but I literally, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. There's no way I can do it, but I didn't. I just trusted the process. I trusted what Lindsay's saying. And that's another thing. I started watching Lindsay's boot camp halfway through February when Cassie started it like all the way over, because I never started it the second time because I wasn't all in January whenever she replayed it, whenever she finished. And then when she replayed it again in February, I was all in. So I started and I watched that every single day along with doing my IPAs. And I've just implemented what Lindsay's been saying. And I just learn from the leaders. I'm like a sponge. It's just like, I take it just like college. It's just like I go to class, I learn, I apply it, I just put it to work, and it literally just comes around full circle. Like it's like I'm a spiritual person. If you're not a spiritual person, it's totally okay. But I just believe that God sees you working. He sees you showing up every morning, pouring into yourself, trying to change the lives of others. He sees you working so hard. And then I'm not saying that it's going to take a month like it did me. I'm so grateful that it took a month, but I'm also not stopping where I'm at. I'm going to keep going. It may take you longer, it may take you shorter. It's your own journey, but it's the way that God is going to prepare you to get there. And that's just something that's led me basically to being 4K. It is something that I honestly used to say that I would never get to. Like when I first started in August, it was like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get my car paid for. And then I thought like, oh, it's too hard. Like literally like my first month in, I don't even think I hit like I don't know. I honestly don't know the numbers, but it wasn't like a lot of money at all. And then I just started to tell myself every month, like, there's no way I could ever do it. And then one month I'm just like, well, if she can do it, then why can't I? And I was comparing myself in a bad way as like, I can't be her, I can't do what she's doing. But then I started to look at it as like, I'm special just like her, or I'm my own self just like her. And there's so many trees growing, if that makes sense. Like we're all trees and there's so much room for all the trees to grow. Like the forest is never ending. Like it's not like Lavelle is going to say, okay, no more 200Ks. Like that's it. Like you want 200K, you go get it. Like they're never going to tell you no. It's not like your job where you have to wait to get promoted. You're literally promoting yourself. If you want to show up and you want to work, I have chills. I don't know if anybody else does, but literally I'm doing this for you guys because like 2 months ago, I'm telling you, I told myself I couldn't. I told myself I couldn't. And all I did, I promise you, if there was a secret, I would tell you the secret, but the secret is just do it. Just show up every morning and do it. Do your IPAs, like I said, like how Lindsay goes through the boot camp, tells you step by step, thoroughly how to correctly and most efficiently do each IPA. Watch those videos and implement it. And then like I'm telling you, God will just be like, wow, girlfriend, like you're ready, your mindset went, and I'm gonna just give it to you. So that's really it. I mean, if you guys have any questions like about any of the specifics I did for IPAs, if you want me to like tell you what works best for me, I would be glad to tell you. I don't want to sit here and like bore you and talk to you guys all night. But it really just does start with you. Stop making excuses. I have like some quotes here that I write down from trainings, but some of these are like go with exactly what I'm talking about. So stop worrying and chasing and start working and believing. The more you worry and the more you chase, you're literally exhausting yourself. You're worrying and you're just wondering like, when am I going to get that sale? When am I going to get that promoter? Like just stop. Just let it all go. Work every day and believe in yourself. And I promise you, you don't even know. And then would you hire you or fire you? If you were your own employee in this business, how would you feel? If you were your promoter, if you were on your team, how would you feel about yourself? Would you be happy that you're on your team? Or would you be like, where is this? What is this girl doing? Like, is she here? Is she not here? And then the next one is if you can't lead a team of one, which is yourself, if you're not here to lead yourself, if you can't lead yourself, then how are you going to lead a team of 5? How are you going to lead a team of 10? Like it has to be, you can't pour into anybody else until you pour into yourself. And then the last one. Your mind can be your best friend or your enemy. Like your mind, every day you wake up, the only person talking to yourself is you. The only person motivating yourself is you. You could have extrinsic motivators, but the biggest motivator is your intrinsic motivator. Like that is the one that gets you up in the morning. That's the one that puts your head to sleep every night. Your mind is always running. So you can either think positive things all the time, which is going to bring positivity. That's just how energy works. Or you can continue to think negative thoughts. And I promise you, negativity is going to infest your life if that's all you think about. So just be positive, show up, literally just be yourself. And then I promise it'll all come full circle. And a month from now, you're going to be like, holy shit, I did it.
It takes you to have that like mindset shift and just you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself like, am I going to start committing to me and have that self-discipline. And it's not even like motivation, because you could have motivation one day. Like last week I had motivation to clean my whole house, and this week I'm like, oh my god, like I don't want to keep up with this. Like you're never going to always have motivation, but if you are self-disciplined, if you get yourself into a routine, like I swear, planning your weeks out, getting yourself into a solid routine of when you're going to do this, when you're going to do that. Like the mornings when I don't wake up before Isabella, my whole entire day is like trashed. And I'm just constantly like, oh my God, I didn't do this. Oh my God, I didn't do this. So then when I go to bed at night, I'm exhausted because my whole entire mind was racing because I didn't do the work that I was supposed to be doing in the one solid hour that I had before she wakes up. So it takes you to just like, even if you can, it's all about trial and error. My schedule that I had 2 years ago is nothing compared to what it is today. You have to, like, as you go through life and go through different season, and your work ethic takes a lot different. Whenever it was just me and I wasn't leading a team, it didn't matter if I showed up that day or not. But the second that you join and you become a promoter, you are a leader. If you have to look at yourself every single day and ask yourself, well, what I want, like, would I go to myself to be like under, or like what I want, like to lead? Like, what I want you to be my leader? Like, you have to start looking yourself in the mirror every single day at nighttime and say, what I did today, would I join me? If you wouldn't, then you need to change some things. You need to start implementing more things. You need to start showing up more, start showing you, start showing who you are. People join you, they don't join the business, they don't join the products. If all I advertise all day long was just that you are a free website and free products and a car bonus, I don't get promoters by that. I don't get customers because of that. When I show my experience, when I show what I'm able to do with this business, where I say like where I'm going, or just even like my doctor approving them, like not the medication, approving the 3 steps, like that's when people are interested. They want to know your own personal testimony towards the business, what it's doing for you, and towards the products and what they are doing for you. So start actually looking at yourself and asking yourself, what more can I do? What do I need to change? Where am I going? Like, what is the big picture? What do you truly want out of this business? And start going after that and start saying yes to only things that are going to serve you. There's 2 months, you have to buckle down and you have to start saying no to everything that doesn't serve you. Like, I don't do anything. I haven't done anything. Not that there's anything to do, but it's just, you have to start, like, I don't know what other way to put it, but whenever you have your mindset shift and you just go for it, that's whenever it's going to happen. So talk to yourself tonight. Tell yourself that you're going to start planning, get into a routine, figure out what IPAs that you need to work on and do those more. The ones that you hate are the ones that are going to get you farther. You're not always going to want to try to follow people and interact with people. It's not always fun, but it's going to be worth it. And make that commitment to yourself today that you are going to work your booty off every single day and be proud of yourself whenever you put your phone down at nighttime for what you did that day. So then the next morning when you pick it up, you're not already feeling guilty because the day before you didn't do anything for your business. So now you're picking up the slack from yesterday, and then you got to do the work today. Be proud of yourself and do the work. So I hope that you guys got some golden nuggets from this, or some type of fire in you to start committing and chasing after these bonuses, because time's ticking. We don't have 4 months. We only have 2 months, not even now. So let's work. If you guys have any questions in particular at all, please obviously text in the group and let us know. And I hope that you guys have a good night. And I'm excited to start bringing these back every other week. And then hopefully as our team grows, we could bring them weekly and all of you can start leading too. So
Yes, by the end of this month,
yeah.
everybody is getting a bonus. There's no excuses. We're doing it, and we're going to be the dream team.
Yeah.
The
Everyone will get
Thrive,
a bonus.
Thrive
Everyone
Tribe
will get a
Dream
leader.
Team.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm so motivated. I'm doing it.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, we have what? I don't know. I can't do math. What?
It's only the 4th of, it's
Days?
only the 4th, so that's 27 days.
27 days.
Yeah.
27 days, 200 bonus. You could do
Like
it.
I said, I did it in a couple weeks. You can
Yeah.
do it in one. I'm not lying.
As if these
Don't
next
give
2
up.
weeks are a VIP period. So everyone's goal from here until next week is 2
Mhm.
promoters, 2 customers. Each week, act like it's VIP 800.
Mhm.
Let's go.
Start small. Let's go. Bye.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.